EduStaff is hiring substitute teachers and school support staff right here in your school district. It's a great way to earn income on your schedule and give back to future generations of students. Whether full or part-time, we staff a variety of positions. Visit edustaff.org to apply. That's edustaff.org. Now hiring in your area.
Excellence in staffing.
Call the meeting to order. Special meeting, we'll go ahead and do the roll call.
Mayor Laura,
Present.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Present.
Commissioner Parsons.
Present.
Commissioner Warren,
Here.
Commissioner Vasquez is absent. We have a quorum, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to item number 1, the 2025 budget amendments. We'll start with item A, the public hearing. So I now declare the public hearing open. Have the proper legal notices been filed?
Yes, they have. They were published in the Leader and Times on December 18th.
I invite members of staff to testify in the matter before the commission.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners. Upon review of the city's 2025 activity, it was determined that 3 funds needed to be amended as outlined in your packets. We have detailed the reasoning for the amendments of each fund, but I would be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Are there any questions from commissioners or staff? Okay, seeing none. I invite anyone to testify or comment on the matter. Please advance to the podium and state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, are there any further questions or comments? Being no further comments, I declare the public hearing closed. Moving on to item 1B, ordinance number 4642, amend the fiscal year 2025 budget.
We have prepared ordinance 4642 to reflect these amendments. Staff would like to request commission consideration to adopt the amended 2025 budget.
I'll make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 4642 and amend the fiscal year 2025 budget.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Warren and a second by Vice Mayor Landry. Any further discussion? Any from the public? All in favor? All opposed? 4-0. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 2, the 2025 fiscal year transfers.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, we have identified the attached necessary 2025 fiscal year transfers for which sufficient budgetary authority exists. As everyone is aware, these are project-based transfers where we have received commission approval for the project, and then we have coded them collectively to the 301 Construction Fund during project build. At the end of the year, we reconcile each project and request the transfer from the approved funding source to the 301 Construction Fund in order to bring the project balance back to 0. In addition to this, we have a few more cleanup items that I promised you from last year. We have identified 4 completed projects with positive cash balances, of which a transfer back to the originating funding source is necessary so that we can zero it out and capitalize it. Last year, if you remember, I told you we were pretty proud of the cleanup, and this year it's going to be even better. So in the past, I think they transferred amounts in guesstimate of what they thought would be the project funds needed, and now we have it reconciled fully to where we can zero it out at the end of each year. When the project is fully completed, we capitalize it into our accounting system, and then we move on from there. So no more troubles that existed about 3 or 4 years ago. We have a page and a half of project fund transfers from typically the 1-cent sales tax to Fund 301, and we only have 4 transfers out of Fund 301 back to the originating source. At the completion of these transfers, we still intend to roll over $10 million between all 5 1-cent sales tax funds to the new year after yesterday's receiving was complete. So all of these are very healthy. We're very pleased with the status of the cash balances of all of them at year end. In my opinion, very responsible growth. And if you look at the breakdown, it shows each project, we have shortened names for them, and then the total amount that we are transferring. Also at the top is the reclassification of the Parks and Rec for $69,000. At the end of the year, we reclassify expenses from the general fund to the special Parks and Rec. We are not allowed to do a transfer, so we reclassify expenses. That's the legal way to do that. So that will give $69,000 back to the general fund, which is great. And then the rest are 1-cent sales tax transfers from those funds to Fund 301. And the very last one is that water utility transfer for $650,000 that we promised that 2 years in a row for the water infrastructure project. Those are those cash dedications that we committed to along with the KDHE loan to fund that water infrastructure project. So that is on there. That was a budgeted item. I don't believe it had to be on there. We could have transferred it at any time, but I wanted to go ahead and put it through for commission approval. It did have its own line item within the budget. Any questions about any of the projects? You should be familiar with most of them at this point because they are ones that you approved. When you first got here, within the first couple of years of your time, we were still doing transfers of projects probably prior to your time, but maybe Ron was familiar with them. But we have cleaned all of that up since then. On the back page, those 4 transfers, some of those are older projects that we had, like the rec center project had a positive cash balance because it was over transferred at one point. We're giving that back because it's completed, in my opinion.
Oh, I think that looks great. It'll be nice to see that, capital projects fund, a lot closer to that 0 number than the 5 million it's been sitting at for a couple of years now, even within the transfers.
This will help. The solar credit will help because that will help offset some of those expenses that were sitting in there for that project. And then really the only thing that we'll have to deal with is the wastewater plant in there.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 2025 fiscal year transfers.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Warren and a second by Commissioner Parsons. Any further discussion? Any from the public? All in favor? All opposed? 4-0. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 3, reclassification of delinquent accounts receivable and utility accounts.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners, the commission approval is necessary to reclassify accounts receivable and utility account delinquencies over 120 days past due. The breakdown of these delinquencies are as follows. Accounts receivable, $32,470.70. Water delinquency of $21,632.76. Sewer delinquency, $29,356.67. Refuse delinquency, $9,886.58, for total delinquencies of $93,346.71. The total utility sales delinquent reclassification percentage is 0.45%, so pretty low. Staff will continue collection efforts on these accounts and continue to pursue collection in its fullest. Recommendation is for the city staff to consider approval of the reclassification of delinquent accounts receivable and utility accounts in the total amount of $93,346.71.
Any questions?
I'll make a motion that we allow the reclassification of delinquent accounts and receivables and utility accounts.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Warren and a second by Vice Mayor Landry. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? 4-0. Motion passes. On this one, we have no vouchers, so we are adjourned.